Hey guys, how's it? Aloha, Levon here from Salty Cures. Just finished another beach run and there's something I've got to tell you today that has a little bit to do with that. And it's in the way of a challenge that I want to talk to you about. First of all, a challenge that I decided to do for myself, okay? Second of all, if you want to do that challenge yourself, you can, but in putting together this challenge for myself, I thought maybe there's a similar challenge that's a little more unique that you could do as well based on this challenge. So let's talk about that. So, this usually never ever happens to me, but yesterday I was on YouTube and I saw some kid in Europe's video on a 30-day push-up challenge. Now, we're all familiar with those, right? I've seen them, I'm a trainer, I'm very well familiar with them because people ask me all the time, are sit-up challenges or plank challenges or push-up challenges for 30 days straight any good? And honestly, no, I don't believe that they are. And the reason for that is they fly in the face of so many different training principles in terms of intensity, variation, and just plain old safety. So I'm not a big believer in those, but I do like the concept of setting aside a 30-day window where you're doing something on a very, very focused and intense basis to kind of give yourself a little bit of push, a little bit of a quantum leap forward in your progress rather than just kind of doing a halfway effort on your normal stuff that you might do for your fitness routine. So all of those thoughts got me thinking, what could I do for 30 days that I'd feel comfortable with as a trainer, being that it's a smart thing to do, an effective thing to do, and a safe thing to do? And I started thinking along the lines of variation first. Now, if you've trained with me, for example, at any of our Fit Camp classes here on the island of Oahu, you know that I pride myself on providing workouts that are never exactly the same twice. I try to infuse as many different exercises to train as many different parts of your body as possible, and I really believe that's a big thing. But at the same time, I've noticed that lately, because I've got so much on my plate that I didn't used to have, when I expend the brain power it takes, which I enjoy expending, frankly, to come up with a unique and different workout for myself every single day, sometimes I actually end up not doing a workout because I get a little bit frustrated, a little bit distracted with the busyness of what I'm working on these days, and those workouts don't happen, which is sad to say. So I wanted to take this 30 days and make sure that doesn't happen, number one, and take it kind of in the opposite extreme direction and do something that's really, really high-powered and, like I said earlier, gonna push me forward in a big way to reach some goals that I have for myself. So the next natural step in the progression of those thoughts was to pick a handful of exercises that would be high yield, as I like to call it, wouldn't take a whole lot of thought and just hassle putting together, and that I could do on a regular basis just about anywhere, and would be, like I said, high yield and really get the most out of the time that I spend doing them. So I came up with just 3. And so for me, I'm calling this month's challenge for the month of March the 330 challenge. 3 exercises done for 30 days. Now, I know there's not 30 days in March, I know there's 31, but people don't really respond to the 31-day challenge, right? It's a 30-day challenge, let's be real. So my thinking was this: I needed exercises that would hit every muscle group in the body, and the burpee plus body weight rows definitely does. Now, everybody loves to hate burpees, right? I personally think they're the best exercise you could do. If you could just choose one exercise for the rest of your life to stay in general overall good condition, you should choose burpees. Now, the other exercise, burpees do train just about every muscle group, but there's one set of muscle groups they don't really train, and that's kind of your posterior chain, at least the upper part of your posterior chain, your rear shoulders, your upper back muscles, some of your middle, even to lower back muscles. And so I wanted to throw that exercise in there to make sure we kind of round off the total amount of muscle groups that we're training on a day-to-day basis. Now, again, like I talked about earlier, I don't believe that it's a good thing to necessarily do the same exercise every single day. In fact, I don't think it's a good idea at all. So what I'll be doing for this program is this combination of burpees and bodyweight rows every other day, more or less. So probably I'm looking at Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, or I'm sorry, that's not every other day. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then the running part will come on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Now, the running part, it's not something to just kind of do as an afterthought. Whether you're doing a challenge like this or you're doing just running on your own, don't look at your runs as just something you do for cardio on your quote-unquote off days. That's a really bad approach. In general, I personally feel that running consistently, habitually, for most people is actually not that good for your health. Yes, you burn calories, but it's a somewhat inefficient way of burning calories, not to mention you set yourself up for some repetitive types of injuries if you do it. Now, I know that some people are runners and that's just what they're born to do or what they really love doing, and that's fine. I'm not saying running is a bad thing, but I'm saying it could potentially become a bad thing. So for me, I didn't want to just look at my runs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as an afterthought. And I definitely am not just going out there just to run, put on a pair of shoes and go out there. I'm looking at my runs in a totally different kind of light. Where, for example, I may do a sand run like I do here on the beach on the North Shore one day, or another day might be a hike that I try to pick up the pace on and get to the top as quickly as possible. Maybe one day I will be running up a steep street in a neighborhood, or doing some interval sprints, or just basically something that's varying and different every time, or something that has a high degree of intensity to it and is not just put it on cruise control and run as long as you can. That's not really what I'm all about, and that's not what I think you should be all about with your runs as well. Going back to that idea of how I do not think that doing 30-day challenges of set numbers of maybe 1 or even 2 specific exercises is a good idea, this is how I'm going to be structuring my program. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be the strength training component where there's burpees and bodyweight rows. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday will be the run components. I'm going to be recording these workouts, so if you're interested in seeing what I do, maybe seeing how the progress goes in terms of what I'm able to do, because I anticipate there'll be some days where I'm sore and a little bit burned out, and I will have to vary it a little bit in terms of maybe the total volume or reps and sets that I do. But that's something I'm going to be sort of playing by ear, whereas one day maybe I've got tons of energy and another day I don't. We're going to just go and do as much intensity and volume as we can handle on a given day based on the current status of energy in my body and my brain. And I'll keep track of that overall progress and the consistency, both with the runs and the strength training days. But that's something that is kind of up in the air, and you'll just have to kind of pay attention to see how it goes and what I end up doing. Now obviously with a goal like trying to add volume and intensity as we go throughout the 30 days, hopefully the end result is that day 1, in terms of what I was able to do, is a lot different than what I was able to do on day 30 or day 31. Now, a little disclaimer, this set of exercises, these 3 exercises that I'm going to do for the next 30 days, these aren't the only exercises I do necessarily. I do spend a fair amount of time out in the water, surfing, swimming, to take photos and videos and whatnot. I would say though no more than, I average maybe 2 days a week at the most. And so if I had to put a number on it, I would say this program of 3 exercises over the course of 6 days a week is probably going to take up 90%, I would say, of the physical exertion that I put into my body. So just wanted to put that out there. Now some of you might be asking, well, what about diet? Now, first of all, stop saying that word. More on that in a future video. But in terms of my nutrition, I'm not going to make any radical changes to the way I eat as of right now. That could change in the future, but I mostly want to keep it sort of scientific, although this is super unscientific, in the sense that I want to change just one or a couple of things and see what kinds of changes we can bring about in the course of this 30-day challenge. Now, let's talk about you. So if you want to do this challenge that I'm doing yourself, go for it. You can totally go for it. Like I said, I will have lots of videos to come that kind of check in on my progress, but also give more insight as to why and how and what I'm doing and what the purpose is. And so that's something that you can kind of come back to and check on frequently if you choose to do this same type of challenge. Now, if you want to do a different challenge, here's where your part comes in. Choose whatever you want to do for 30 days. Maybe it's a type of a workout. Maybe it's to get better sleep for 30 days. Go to bed by a certain time of night. Maybe it's stop eating fast food or sugar for 30 days. Whatever the case is, I want you to take that challenge for yourself, do it for the next 30, 31 days, and here's what's in it for you. If you want to actually formally join our 30-day challenge that we're doing this month, what you'll have access to is me via our private Facebook coaching group that we have for our fitness clients here at Salty Cures. And like I said earlier, you'll have the chance to win some cash. There's a minimal $10 entry fee just to make sure you've got, a little skin in the game, and also to make sure that you add to the pot that we're going to compile and give to the winner of the 30-day challenge, who is the most consistent and sees the most results with whatever it is that they choose to do for those 30 days. Okay? So if that's sounding like something you want to do, check the link in the description of this video, or wherever this video is posted associated with this video. There'll be a link where you can go and sign up. Make sure when you sign up, after you make your minimal entry payment, you follow through the web pages that it takes you to, because that will make sure that we've got your email address so that we can stay in touch with you. There are going to be additional resources more than are just available with the daily check-ins and accountability that you have on the Facebook group, which will be posted elsewhere, and I need to make sure I have, you know, good contact with you so that you can know when other things are posted on that private, exclusive website. The other thing is make sure that you request access to the Facebook group so that we can let you in there as well. Now, if you want to do this challenge either informally on your own, or you actually want to sign up and join us on the Facebook group, then you can totally do that even if it's past March 1st or 2nd. This is something that you can do at any old time, obviously. I don't want you to think that this March set of 31 days is the only time that you can do this. Do it for yourself, do it anytime. There will be a deadline to actually sign up if you want to formally join this challenge, and that'll be midway through the month, so we'll say March 16th, I'm gonna say for right now, maybe 15th, maybe 16th, if you want to join. But even if you do join late officially, you can still, you know, the Facebook page is going to be there beyond the end of March, so you can still make use of that. Make sure that you are part of the group, getting feedback, giving feedback too, and helping others stay accountable while you stay accountable and motivated as well. So I'm super excited, guys, to tackle this challenge. It's a little scary, right, to kind of put yourself out there in terms of doing something for a dedicated 30 days, and you know, there's always the chance that you could not really get very many results, or you know, be human and slip up and not be super consistent. But I love this idea of accountability, and I hope you do too, and you'll join in with me in doing some of this for yourself as well. I'm also looking forward to showing you guys that you do not need a very complex exercise program to see results. I have no doubt that in my mind that these 3 exercises I've chosen, they work, and they're gonna work. It's totally up to me to make them work, but they themselves, in terms of what potential they have, they're definitely going to work. So looking forward to showing you guys that. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please send me a message, a comment here on the video. You can contact me through my website, and I would love to answer any questions you have and help you be accountable to make some big bounds, some big leaps forward in your fitness for the next 30 days. Take care, guys, and aloha.